Hi, Justine. This is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is your prophecy. You had some problems with PayPal. You're not the first one to have problems with PayPal. So this is a new cup that I got from a friend who sells her stuff on Redbubble, and this is some of her artwork. So it's my pleasure to give you a personal prophecy. If you're tuned in to YouTube and you're watching this, in the description tag where you say see more under this video, you can write to my website and request your own personal prophecy. I encourage you to watch this. If you're a Justine and you think this applies to you, I've found in the years past that when you watch a prophecy for the same name as yourself, a lot of it resonates. So I'm excited to give you a word. I'm really encouraged with someone who really pushes hard to get what they want and pushes past the boundaries of struggle and trial. And so I'll just pray and dedicate this to the Lord. So, dear Father, I pray that you give me a word for Justine, a word to bless her, encourage her, and lift her up. I think it's Justine, a female. Even if it was a Justin, a male, the Lord would know who he's speaking to. The first impression I get is that you really drill deep with people. You have got a personality that is deep and responsive, and you're a person who dives deep with people. You can have talk about surface things about the weather and politics can get deep. The weather and how the day's going and what's on the news, but you prefer to dive really deep and get really deep in subjects, and you enjoy having people around you that you can have these deep conversations with. If a person is your friend and you enjoy these deep sort of relationships, you'll only speak for 30 seconds or a couple of sentences back and forth about the day and how the day is, and then you'll be diving deep on the last subject that you covered. I've got some news for you that Jesus is really deep, and he plunges to tremendous depth, and you can speak to him back and forth and plunge to those depths. I've got a book on how to hear from God. If you don't hear from God very clearly, you can teach yourself, but you'll be amazed at how deep Jesus can get, how surprisingly mystical and deep he can be to talk to. I also find, as I investigate you, that you're very loyal, that you're a person who sticks by your friends. You're a person who goes through your friendships in fine weather and dark weather and stormy weather. You consistently travel through all sorts of weather conditions, all sorts of struggles and good times and bad times. You also, in the past, people have reacted and rose up against you and walked away from the friendship from time to time. And you're the person that doesn't let go, even that one or two people that have drifted away or gone away through their own choice. You still think about them, and I feel that you still pray for them, and you think about them from time to time, and there's sadness. There's sadness that you lost them, sadness that they still can't be a friend, and sadness that you miss your friendship. That's the definition of being loyal. Someone who isn't loyal doesn't really care for their former friend, and will remember the bad times, remember the argument, and say to themselves, it's not worth it to be in a friendship. This depth that you have in conversation, and this loyalty that you have, makes you very attractive. You also, not only do you speak deep, you search for things with depth. You're a real deep thinker. You're a person that could read 20 books on a subject, drilling deeper and deeper. And as the person mentions a source, you'll go to the source book. And as you go to the source book and they mention 2 other books, you'll go to their source book. And you're a person who does investigative journalism. It's investigative journalist is someone who really goes to a depth to bring an article. So I sense that there's coming a time where I feel this is like part of a blueprint, and you can order a blueprint, which is $150, and I'll go into 9 or 10 things that you're destined to do with your life. But one of the 9 things on your blueprint is you're destined to make videos, and you're destined to write books. I sense that the Lord wants you to write blog posts, get used to writing blog posts, and then He wants to train you to even do videos of your blog posts and start a video channel on YouTube. And as you develop as a writer, expressing yourself, blog post after blog post, after doing that for about a year, I feel that you could easily design your own book and write your own book. I've got a couple of books on how to write non-fiction. I sense there's 2 or 3 books in you already. You might want to sharpen your writing gift by starting a blog and practicing writing about those 3 subjects those books are about. Make sure they're not the same material that would be in a chapter. Make sure that when you actually write the book, it's not the blog content, because they can do detection of certain things on the internet, and you may find it hard publishing your book. But I'd investigate, if I were you, starting to write blogs, starting to do videos. This is part of Word, which is a directional word. It's a gift called Word of Wisdom, and it's one of the 3 gifts of prophecy. And this Word of Wisdom is sort of directions of God. A king in the Old Testament used to say, will we go to war? And then the prophet would say yes, and this is specifically how you're meant to fight. And if the army didn't do specifically what the prophet said, there'd be casualties, and there'd be a loss of life, and it'd have drastic consequences. So I'm not saying if you don't start a blog and start a YouTube, there's going to be drastic consequences, but I feel that it'll stall your growth. As we cooperate with the Lord, as we cooperate with what the Lord says, our growth goes. I sense that you've had the ideas of writing a book and writing several books. You'd be really gifted at it. You could probably write books different to me and have footnotes and quotes of other books, and you'd be able to produce really good books from some of the sources and some of the books you've read. And that would be very interesting. In the next year, I'll be establishing a website that helps people produce and self-publish their books, and I'd be interested in assisting you then. I sense that you're a person who's outgoing and loving, and although I sense that you can be a little introverted in meeting new people, if I'm right about that. But once you warm up to a new person, you're I heard the word chatterbox, and that's something that would describe me. But you're a person who really enjoys good, lengthy, deep conversation. You love to drill down on subjects. You love meeting people and meeting all the different varieties of people, and being used to meet and speak at great length with certain people. I can see you. Another thing on your Destiny blueprint, if you want to order one of them on my website. Another thing on your Destiny blueprint is I can see you doing podcasts and interviewing experts and getting different experts and asking their opinions. I sense that if you did interviews, you do tremendous interviews of people. On your subject matter, I can see you even writing a book with a certain theme for the book, and reaching out to 5 experts and asking them questions. You wouldn't specifically have to interview them on a podcast, but you could ask them specific questions for their answers to specific questions, and say that you're putting a collaborative book together, and they'll be mentioned as an author. I can see you, as you gain traction and you gain credibility in the world, and you gain authority as a voice. I can see you doing that. So I can see you producing videos. I can see you writing blogs. I can see you writing books. I can see you doing a podcast. I can see you doing collaborative books with different authors. So that's 4 or 5 things, and the blueprint would be more extensive. Of course, you'd have to want to order the blueprint, but there's other things that I feel that you could find out about if I sought the Lord and used my pad here and actually wrote some of the things down and listed the 9 or 10 things and did it. I sense that you're in a period of growth. I sense that the Holy Spirit would love to lead you to start to journal. It's helpful to journal with Jesus' voice and the Father's voice. I sense that you would be well served starting to journal. You could ask Jesus and ask the Father about certain subjects that you're going to blog about. You could even have conversations about certain topics and use that as your blog. I've got 3 books, Conversation with God, book 1, book 2, and book 3, where I had conversations about certain subjects with God, and people find those books really enjoyable. I had a book called Jesus Speaking Today, where Jesus spoke on certain subjects, and so they can be interesting for people to read, especially your dialogue, your back and forth with God, and that would be very interesting. I see you moving in business. I see you doing film and television. I can see you moving in a whole lot of different directions and different areas. I encourage you. I'll put an email address in the description tag down below this video. When you watch this video, I encourage you to write to my friend Auty and even request a prophecy of him. Tell him to come and watch this prophecy and see what he can get for you too. I really encourage, and I encourage other people watching this video not only to get a prophecy off me or a blueprint off me, but to write to Auty and request a prophecy of him too. So I pray that this has been a blessing for you. And before I go, I'm not sure when I started, how long this video is, but I'll just say some more things. I feel that the Lord wants to grow, and I speak a release right now into you. Grow your encouragement skills. I feel that you're a very encouraging person to other people, and you're a real blessing how you interact with people. And I pray for another level, like another 20% of you being more encouraging. So there is an encouragement gift. You've got the gift of encouragement, gift of exaltation. It's mentioned in the Bible. And you're very good at encouraging. And to be good at encouraging, you've got to be very observant and got to observe good things in people. And I sense that you've got this tremendous and amazing gift of encouragement, your real encouragement wherever you go, and you interact with people and really bless them. And I just pray like an explosion of that gift in you. I encourage you, when you get this video, Justine, to share it on your Facebook and say, look what a person prophesied over me, or share it with friends. Encourage your friends to come and get a prophecy. So God bless you. I hope that you can go to my website and order a blueprint for yourself, and we'll see if I cover the same 5 subjects and 5 more. And I encourage you, if you like to go to Auty and request a prophecy, write him an email and see if he can watch this prophecy and do prophecy for you. If you're watching this video, press the thumbs up. If you've got a comment to say, please comment. If you like the channel, subscribe to the channel and press the bell button, which says that you'll get notifications. And if you like this video, share it. And if you don't like it, don't like it. And I'll pray for you and send angels, dispatch angels to minister to you if you don't like the video. God bless you, Justine. I'd love to look forward to your feedback. God bless.